What is good, everybody? It's your boy Jay in the building. We is back again with another video. Alright, so I know that this is the game that everybody has been waiting on. So with me too. So I know that this is the game that everybody has been waiting on. And before we get this thing started, I do want to say shout out to Jackson State and their homecoming this week. I know y'all about to do it absolutely big. I know that they just dropped their 60 minutes on Jackson State, right on the same week of homecoming. That's pretty dope. But I want to do the first look on Jackson State versus Campbell. And the thing that I want to speak about is what's going to be the difference between winning and losing this game is the big men in the trenches. Like, we all know what Coach Prime had to say about it and the reason why, why he wasn't playing Alabama no time soon.
Got to get beef up in the front. The difference of Power 5s and HBCUs right now, those big guys in the middle. It's not the quarterbacks, it's not the receivers, the DBs, or the skill position, but those big dogs in the middle. We got to beef up that to be able to compete with something like that.
So we're going to dig right into that. And first off, I want to speak about the O-line of Jackson State. Now, as you see, the line is completely different from last year. They're not only bigger, they're also more talented. And you can see they only given up 9 sacks so far this year in 6 games. They only given up 9 sacks so far. They averaged 168 yards rushing on the ground, and they averaged 44 points a game. Versus last year where they've given up 36 sacks in 13 games, and they rushed for under 100 yards. So you can tell there has been a dramatic difference in the size of the offensive line. Like, they had about 12 or 13 different offensive linemen on the roster, and you can really see the difference. Now, let's all take a look at Campbell's offensive line. Now, if we see here, you see this guy on the left-hand side, Mike Edwards, who's 6'7", 355 pounds. Absolutely huge. But they've given up 15 sacks so far this year, which is it's okay. It's less than 3 sacks per game or whatever. 119 yards rushing per game, and 30 points per game for the offense. Now, in their 2 losses, they rushed the ball as a team for less than 140 yards. Versus in their 4 wins, they had at least over 190 yards rushing as a team. And against North Carolina Central, they had over 300 yards rushing. And if y'all did watch the game, there was a big size discrepancy between Campbell's offensive line and Central's defensive line. They were just too overly matched, and Campbell just ran all through that defense. So you can kind of see why an offensive line is more important than ever before. At Campbell's defensive line, as you can see here, you see these 4 guys, and they give up 160 yards rushing as a team, and so far they have 12 sacks as a team. Now, Jackson State rushes for 160 yards per game as well. So something is going to have to give. Yeah. We're going to also take a look at Jackson State's defensive line and see what they're going to be working with against Campbell's offensive line. Now, if you see here, these are not all the guys that they use. Now, they don't only use the D linemen on the outside, on the line. They will also bring in some of their linebackers to play off the edge. They'll use John Huggins off the edge sometimes. They'll also use Simon Craig off the edge as well. They'll also put him in the middle. So Campbell is going to be seeing a lot of blitzing. But the guys on that D-line, they're going to be seeing probably some of the biggest guys they played against this year. So this matchup is definitely going to be different, than weeks before. So this game, So, like I said before, this game is going to be won inside the trenches. You know, we all know what. We all know Shedeur Sanders is going to do his thing. The wide receivers is going to do their thing. But it's all going to happen to how Jackson State is going to be able to block these big defensive linemen and how Jackson State is going to be able to handle Campbell's offensive line. It's going to be very different. So, you know, I can't wait to see it. I think it's going to be pretty dope.